everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Three View. Tonight, we are joined with Butte Irish head coach Marc Brodeur. Marc, how's it going?
Not bad. Yourself?
Pretty good. All right, so we'll just hop right on into things. So this was your first season fully with the Irish. I know you had joined previously kind of in the middle of the year, but can you kind of go through and reflect on your first full season?
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty good season all in all. A learning season for both me and my players. Um, you know, we it was my first full season recruiting, and a new coach trying to gain the confidence and trust from players is tough at times. Because they're wondering why there was a coaching change and things like that. So
Right.
recruiting at the beginning of the year was a little bit hard. So we were behind the game a little bit. But then I picked up a few players and we became very competitive. And the thing with the team is, sometimes they played like they should, and we at one point we went on a 5-game winning streak,
Mhm.
and then we lost 7 after that. So it was a very up and down season, a lot of growing pains taken care of. Um, but recruiting this season has been way easier. We have kids calling us to come and play, wanting to come play for us now. So it just makes it all easier. So, it was a trying first full season, but we're hitting the door running this season.
There we go. Glad to hear. And then who are some of your returners that you and your staff will be leaning on, as we go into this new season?
So we're going to be very young. We don't have too many returners coming back.
Mhm.
As of right now, we have 3 that have signed: uh, Toby Kerr, Brennan Morgan, and Corbin Breen. I look for great seasons out of all of them, and depending on what happens with their career, I hope they move on because they're talented enough to potentially do that. But if they come back, that would be our captain, Wes Villers, a very strong forward, Logan Weber, another strong forward, Andrew Brow, and then another strong D-man, Ryan Sikorsky. So, if they ended up coming back, we'd be very, very good. If not, we've done some recruiting, so, we won't hurt too bad.
Yeah. And then you guys recently announced the hiring of assistant coach Hunter Angus. Talk to us about that hiring and, what he will bring to the table.
Well, we needed a third guy for sure. During games, it's just really hard for a head coach to keep his eye on the game, but also make adjustments mid-period, right?
Right.
We found Hunter. He moved back to Butte, and wanted to get into junior coaching, and he had some experience coaching 18U kids, um, and he is younger, so he'll have that one-on-one rapport with the boys closer to his age.
Right.
Um, so I think he'll just add that extra piece that helps us, during game days especially.
Right.
He's got a very good hockey. He's got a very good hockey head. Um, Knowledge of the game is good, and he played ACHA hockey. So he's got some experience. And then, of course, John Schoof, my assistant, is coming back again this year, and he'll take the defensive role. Hunter will take care of the forwards, and then I'll make the adjustments as we go.
Nice. And, like you said, bringing in all those younger players, it will be good to have him on staff, like you said.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what is going to be the key for your group of players this upcoming season to improve and qualify for the Fraser Cup playoffs?
Well, it's the old saying, it takes a team, right? And
Right.
this season, we really do have a great mix of anywhere from first line to fourth liners and a lot of depth. And that's what it takes to win in NA3, is to have 4 solid lines so you can run 4 lines during a game. Um, so it's just buying into it. Last year I did have some kids that at the beginning of the season looked me in the eyes and said they wanted to be hockey players, but really didn't put in the effort that was required.
Mhm.
And this year, with some of these kids coming in, um, it's just amazing the enthusiasm that they're showing already. We have a group chat set up already with the team, and we have a bunch of leaders. I recruited kids that were captains on their team, things like that. So uh, we just we're going to be a lot stronger. We'll still be young,
Mhm.
but we've got kids that are going to put in the work to get there, and not have those, you know, a 2 game winning streak coming into a weekend and then not showing up the next. So
Right.
yeah, it's kind of where we're at.
There you go. Pretty good. So it sounds. So you guys had 6 players
Yeah.
advance to college, including one being an NCAA commitment. Speak about how the NA3 as a whole helps these players advance and then your organization as well.
Well, I think the league obviously is getting stronger every year, and there's more teams from the NCAA Division III category that are coming to look at our players. Um, the players do all the work. The one from our group that's moving up, Patrick Crooks, he did all the work to get to where he was going, but it does take the coach to stand behind him and to reach out to these teams and explain the character and play of a player to help them along. And unfortunately, there are coaches out there that take care of the kids that are the naturals, right? The easy ones to move on to next programs, but don't really take care of the ones that you have to put a little bit of work in for.
Mhm.
And us Butte as an organization, we've just said, we're going to work for that fourth line guy right up to the first line guy, and get our boys playing hockey after their junior career is done.
Very nice. And we saw your staff quite a bit this off season at our NAHL Combines. Talk about your experience at those combines, especially as you said, you're bringing in a large number of new players.
Well, it was just a great opportunity to, make contacts with new players. Throughout the season, you'll get emails from players saying they have interest and all that kind of stuff, but it's really hard to gauge just by video that they send in.
Right.
So getting to see some of these players at the NAHL Combines just makes it a little bit easier. You get to meet the families, you get to have one-on-ones with them, to let them know that you are that organization that's going to do everything they can for their player, to help grow them as a hockey player and a young man, actually. Um, because I mean that's what we're trying to do here. We're building hockey players, but we're trying to build productive members of society as well. And for the most part, the kids I've seen come out of the NA3 have been pretty classy kids. I know there's some situations here and there. Um, it's inevitable that situations arrive with some players or whatever, but for the most part, our kids are great, and it's just convincing these kids at the combines to further their career with the NA3, and we'll do what we can to get them up further in their career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of veered off course there a little bit. Yeah.
Right. And then as
Yeah.
we, get closer to the season beginning, it's already the end of July when we're filming this. What can Butte fans expect from the Irish this season?
Well, a whole new team. We're going to be competitive right off the get go. Um, there's no more missing playoffs and things like that. I've got a great, solid group of goaltenders coming in, a solid group of D men. Our forwards looking good. And again, once some of the other team cuts happen and we see what we have, what we'll have that first day coming
Mhm.
into the season, it's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait for it to start, but I couldn't wait for it to start 2 months ago, and people thought I was crazy. So they're like, "Hey, wait, we need the good weather." And I'm like, "I need the cold arena." So yeah, I think we're gonna turn some heads this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today and good luck the rest of the season.
All right. Thanks, Brittany.